Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. All praises be to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, and we seek His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can misguide him, and whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be guided for him. I bear witness there's no God to worship except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His messenger and his servant and His messenger. Oh Allah, give good prayers toward Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, as you have given to Abraham and the family of Abraham, and bless, O Allah, upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, as you have been blessed. You have blessed the family Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most well praised and most sufficient. Today, inshallah, we will take a short review for what we have learned before in our session, last session. And last week, I want to apologize to all of you because we have to stop our we have to not having our session the last time, last week, because we been burdened with other works. So inshallah today we take the review for what the book 10 rules, the book of 10 rules of self-purification by Sheikh Abderrazzaaq Al-Badr that we have took before. And inshallah next week we will start a new class. Then I will tell you about the book after this. On the topic of self-purification or Tazkiyah An-Nafs that we took before. We took the book of Sheikh Abderrazzaaq Al-Badr that he lined up or draft for us 10 rules for self-purification. Means that whoever want to purify themselves, then they have to start with knowing what is the rules or the base that from it a person will get the self-purification. So the first rules that he mentioned after the introduction of this topic, he said about Tawheed, or the proclaim of oneness of Allah as the base for the Tazkiyah or for the self-purification. This is the one of the things that been left out from to be remind to human kind about the proclamation of the oneness of Allah. Because maybe a person can be a good person in his manners towards other human being, but he is not a good servant or a good human towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the thing that doing good things to others can be seen, and you actually can show it to others, but the proclaim of oneness of Allah is actually must be done before anything else, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala see in the Quran in Surah Al-Tawbah saying about the tarnish or the filthiness of the heart for those who non-believers. It's actually because of the shirk or the association of Allah inside their heart. Like Allah say in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh you people have already believed in Allah. Innamal musyrikuna najasun. Verily, those who make associate with Allah, with other things, they are actually najas. Means that they are unclean from their within their heart, because the most filth or the most tarnished unclean thing is actually to have a shirk inside the heart. So Allah Ta'ala said they are actually unclean. Faila yaqrabul masjidil haram, then don't let them go near to Masjidil Haram ba'da amihim hadha, after this year. And this happened actually in the 10th, in the 9th of Hijrah, the 9th year of Hijrah, after the conquering of Makkah being done by the Prophet ﷺ and his companion. So the Hajj on the 9th of Hijrah being called off to all who ever come to Makkah, and from among the non-believers, they cannot come the next year, the 10th, and that is the first and the last Hajj for the Prophet ﷺ in Islam, after being given revelation by Allah. The Hajj, or we call Hajjatul Wada', the last Hajj by the Prophet ﷺ, that's being done in the 10th of Hijrah. So the 9th, Allah Ta'ala told them to not give any permission for non-believers to enter the holy mosque. You said in Surah At-Tawbah, verse number 28. So that's the point that being given here by our author, said that the proclaim of oneness of Allah, to do not make association with Allah, by Allah with others, is actually the first rules person have to have inside their heart. Because right now in our time, some people do promote good manners and good value towards humankind, to be polite, to be tolerate. But the first thing about proclaim the oneness of Allah is actually not being done. And proclaim the oneness of Allah, you don't only say that I am like Abraham, doing monistic religion, belief in one God, believe only in one God. Because yes, when you learn in physics or about the whole universe, you have to say that the God is only one, because everything is showing to you that God is only one, cannot have any associate. So when we say that a person can say that I believe in only one God, but that is not the true meaning of self or proclaim of the oneness of Allah. Because when you claim the oneness of Allah, after you say that He is the only one, the only true God, you have to do all the things that He told you to do. Because the belief is not only being shown by the saying or claim by yourself, but must be shown through your action. That's why the Imam Shafi'i, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him, he said in his poem, he made a poem saying that ta'sil ilaha wa tadda'i hubbahu, you go against the God and you claim that you actually love him. Hadha fil qiyasi la umri fil qiyasi ajibu. This is actually I swear by my own life, is actually something that is actually very weird, very weird. Law kana hubbaka sadiqan la ata'tuhu. If your love is actually true, you will surely obey him. You will surely obey him. Obey Allah. Obey all his command. Innal muhibba lima yuhibbu muti'u. Because the one who love somebody or loves someone will obey whatever being commanded by the one who he loved. So that is the thing. So when you say about the proclaim the oneness of Allah, it's not only from the side of the saying or the belief in heart. It must be shown through your action and your doings. That's why that's the side that we did say about that. And secondly, after telling us about the oneness of Allah is the base for self-application, our author say about the second thing. The second thing that is actually the thing that will move you and all the things surrounding you towards your self-purification, and that is essentially a dua or supplication towards Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Means that you rely to Him, and you always ask Him to give you the self-purification, because in the supplication by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he the Prophet, we know that he is actually the most perfect human being, and from the side of self-purification, he is our model, our role model for us. He said from among his supplication or dua, he said, Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha. Oh Allah, give toward my soul its piousness. Wa zakkiha anta khair man zakkaha. And clean it, purify my soul, because you are the one who actually better in purifying it. Anta waliyuha maulaha. You are actually the owner of this soul, and the one who actually the protector of the soul and the owner of the soul. So from that point, you said, knowing that you cannot get anything from self-purification or anything inside this world or hereafter, except by doing the dua towards Allah, because dua is actually the base for every worship, every act of devotion towards Allah. It is actually related to the dua or supplication. You must do your supplication. You must ask from Allah, because a person cannot say, like I heard before from among some of our students. He said that I am actually accepting anything that Allah do towards me. Anything Allah Ta'ala did and will do towards me, I actually accepting everything. I don't go against anything that Allah Ta'ala want to do to me, because anything is being done to me is being done by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, he said. So he said also, then why should I ask from Allah Ta'ala anything? Because I am actually accepting everything. I know He's all wise, He's all knowing. He know everything that will happen before it happen, and if the thing will happen, it will happen only by the way that He wanted the thing to happen. So this is the thing that inside our soul you have to believe, but it doesn't mean that you actually doesn't do any movement towards asking Him. You must ask Him, because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said in the Quran in Surah Al-Ghafir, verse number 60, Allah Ta'ala said in that ayat, wa qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum, and your God is actually calling towards all of you, saying, ud'uni, supplicate towards me, or ask me, and then I will answer to you. I will answer you. Innal ladhina yastakbiruna an ibadati. Verily, those who are actually arrogant or being proud from doing devoteness or any act of devoteness towards me. It said there ibadah. It said here, innal ladhina yastakbiruna an ibadati. Those who are actually proud from doing devoteness towards me. Even though the ayah, that ayah 60, verse 16, Surah Ghafir, saying about supplication. Hence, do dua towards me, ask from me, then I will answer you. Those who then the second part, those who actually proud from doing self devotion or good worship towards me, sayadkhuluna jahannama dakhirin, they will surely enter the hell actually in the manner of littleness, means that they will not be, because they proud from asking Allah, Allah Ta'ala will give them shame in the hereafter. So from that dua, from that ayah, ayah number 60, verse number 60 from Surah Al-Ghafir, is actually related to what we say about when you want something from Allah Ta'ala, you have to ask Him. Then asking Allah Ta'ala, doing dua towards Him, is actually the symbol or the act.
Suara ada lah, tapi disangkut. Okay, Ustaz.
Okay. Like we said, because dua is actually the starting for everything. Then in the verse 60, Surah Ghafir, Allah Ta'ala said about those who actually arrogant or proud from asking Allah Ta'ala, then Allah Ta'ala will make them enter the hell with shameness, with proudness, like they did in this world. So knowing that everything is will move towards the goodness or towards the better, is actually from starting from the supplication that we did towards Allah. We ask from Allah, then He will give us for everything, actually for everything. But when we know these rules about your self-purification only will come from Allah, then you will ask Him first. Don't ever actually being you said that you can do it. Some people did say that the way or the thinking, the mind, is actually the most powerful things. When a person want to be better, just thinking that he want to be better, and he will be better because of what he think in his thought or in his mind. So this is one thing that in Islam is actually against what being say the prophet or the messages of Allah being sent to us, actually for us to know that our position as the servant of Allah, the creature created by Allah. So our relation with Allah Ta'ala is starting from the start by we as the servant of Allah, the creature of Allah, always rely towards Allah Ta'ala. And from among what we learn at that time, the Prophet SAW did say that Ana da'watu Abi Ibrahim, I am the supplication of my father Abraham. Because Abraham in Surah Al-Baqarah verse number 127, he did ask Allah Ta'ala about the advance or this descent of a prophet or a messenger from among the settlers in Mecca. He said, Allah Ta'ala said about this in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 129. He said, Allah Ta'ala said, Abraham and Ishmael, they actually when building the Kaabah, they was saying, they were doing supplication towards Allah, asking for a few things, and among the things that they asked is the verse of 139, when Allah said, they said, Rabbana wa ba'ath fihim rasulan minhum, O our Lord, O our God, send towards the settler of Makkah a messenger from among them. A messenger from among them. So the Prophet did say to us, to the companion, he said, Ana da'watu Abi Ibrahim. I am the supplication of my father Abraham. I am the dua of Abraham. So we can understand from that when you want something to get moving towards what you want, the supplication must be done. You must have this humbleness towards Allah by asking Him, because everything will happen by His will. Everything will happen by His permission. Nothing will be happen except Allah Ta'ala will want it to happen. So among the things that you want it to happen is actually whatever you want from self-purification, then ask from Allah Ta'ala. Don't ever think that you don't have to ask Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala will give the self-purification to whom that He want. No, you have to ask, because asking Allah Ta'ala is what is the first move towards the goodness that you want to achieve. Don't ever think that you can get things that you don't have to do the dua, because the Prophet ﷺ, he himself always asking from Allah Ta'ala for his whatever he want. Not only the Prophet ﷺ, but all the Prophet, all the messengers of Allah doing the same thing. Zakaria in Surah Maryam, Allah Ta'ala did record about his prayer towards Allah. Maryam, the mother of Mary, the mother of Isa alayhi salam, also doing that. Abraham also doing that. Every prophet, when they have the any deeds towards Allah, they will always say, oh Allah, oh Allah. They don't ever say that Allah Ta'ala know about me, then I don't have to ask Him. That thought is actually something that make most of our fellow Muslim actually doesn't achieve whatever that Allah Ta'ala want to grant them, because they say that I don't have to pray. They don't feel the needs of prayer towards Allah. Last week happened, a person called me and said, she said to me about her father being in the state of not really well, and start to not to pray, and saying about something that is actually not appropriate. So our sister asked me what to do, what she have to do. Then I said to her, supplicate to Allah, ask Allah Ta'ala, okay? Get up in the last third of the night and ask Allah Ta'ala to make your father better. But in the conversation she said, is the dua only supplicate, because sufficient for that problem? Because she said that some of his family believe that her father is actually being done black magic to him. So they thought about a recitation of a few verses of Al-Quran to the father. But the father actually, she told me that the father is actually like that even before he fell sick. He's like that. But the problem, when I said to her about supplication, she said to me, is supplication good enough? That is the first wrong, when a person wants something from Allah Ta'ala and saying that only supplication, nothing else, no verse from Quran, no water, or no something we give to the patient. This is the thing that I want to remind, because that feeling that you have towards the importance of supplication towards Allah is actually the base, or the starting that you will fail, because nothing will move except by the command of Allah Ta'ala, the permission of Allah. So that's why when I want to remind, when the Prophet ﷺ said, Ana da'watu Abi Ibrahim, I am the prayer, or I am the supplication being done by my father Ibrahim, and by the dua being done by Ibrahim in Surah Al-Baqarah verse number 139. Not record about it. From that is the starting point of the appearance of the Prophet ﷺ, because Allah Ta'ala will give to us whatever we want, but we have to ask Him first. And then the movement will go after that. So self-purification is the same. Yeah. And the third thing being said here in our last book, we said about Al-Quran Al-Karim, manba'u tazkiyati wa mu'inuha. The Quran, Noble Quran is actually the source of self-purification and also the helper for it. You want to the help towards your self-purification, then Quran is the best, because the Quran being sent to us for guidance. Allah Ta'ala didn't send the Quran just like that for recitation only, but essentially it is a blessing and also a guidance for us. No guide being sent after the Quran. And being sent before the Quran, yes, but after Quran, no new guidance. Only Quran will be our guide. Then if we want to get this self-purification and we don't know about our soul, we don't know how to make our soul better, our soul be better from whatever our state before. So the only one who know about it is Allah, because He is the creator of our soul. Then Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran about the guidance, He said, "Dhalikal kitab la raiba fih, hudan lil muttaqin." The book, this book, the Quran, there's no actually uncertainty about it, that it is actually the guidance for those who actually pious. Whoever being pious, then Allah Ta'ala will make the Quran as his guidance. He will always get guide for him in any state of his life, in sorrow, in happiness, in sorrow, in goodness or badness. He will always find in the Quran all the answer for his for his stand of his decision for him to make. He must look into the Quran, because nobody can get a better view about our soul, about the self-purification, except those who look inside the Quran. And look inside the Quran. And looking inside the Quran, when you say Quran is the source, we have to know that all the things that we want to understand from the Quran must be given the meaning or the understanding from the Prophet SAW. This is what relate to the fourth rules about self-purification, is actually about taking role model or somebody to be followed for us to self-purify. Because when we say Quran in the guidance, then understanding the Quran is actually related to the Prophet SAW, because our role model in self-purification is the Prophet SAW. Here that we did explain about certain people that want to get the self-purification, but they made few actually innovation in the religion, and then they did something like doesn't want to marry anybody, any woman, doesn't to eat any tasty food, even doesn't want to eat meat, because from their understanding, all of it, the luxury of this world, is actually the things that will stop your purification. But at the same time, the Prophet ﷺ showed to us, you want the guidance from Quran, you take the Quran as your guide, but to understand the Quran, you must look at the Prophet ﷺ. Because in the time the Prophet ﷺ happened, 3 of the companion came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked his wives about his self-devoteness to Allah, what the Prophet ﷺ did in prayer, in recitation of Quran, in fasting, in every piousness, so in every act of devotion towards Allah. So when the wives of the Prophet ﷺ answered to them, they said, "Is it so little the things that being said to them about the worship of the Prophet ﷺ?" Because the Prophet ﷺ do wake up at the night, but the Prophet doesn't wake all the night, all night long. But the Prophet will take a portion of the night for him to sleep, and a portion for him to wake up and pray. He doesn't tire himself with the self-devoteness more than what human being can do it, manage to do it. Because that's why the companion Prophet ﷺ that asked about his ibadah, they think that it's actually so little. So one of them start to say, yes, the Prophet ﷺ, his self-devoteness towards Allah, his ibadah is so little because he's actually being forgiven by Allah. Whatever being done before and what we done after this, all of it being forgiven by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ, his self-devoteness is so little. When we comparing ourselves to that, we will surely cannot compare. But among the comparing Prophet ﷺ in the time when some people do think extreme, more extreme than what the Prophet ﷺ showed them, more extreme than what the Prophet ﷺ did. Like doesn't want to marry, doesn't want to eat meat, also staying away from other human. Everything essentially they're saying that to show that that is self-devoteness. But the Prophet ﷺ, when the companion asked about his self-devoteness, this thing is so little, means that I can do it. The person said, I can do it. It's nothing so big about that. But then one of them give a thought, give something to understand. He said that maybe the Prophet ﷺ, his self-devoteness is actually like that because he's being forgiven. We are not forgiven, so we have to do better than the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet hear about them, what they said, and the Prophet want to correct them and say to them, what is this, what you all talking about? Then the Prophet said, by Allah, he swear by Allah that I am, the Prophet said, I am the most pious and the most feared person towards Allah. The most pious towards Allah, the most feared person towards Allah, means that afraid of Allah is me. Means that from the heart, the connection of the heart, nobody can say that his iman, his taqwa, his self-fear towards feeling fear to Allah better than the Prophet ﷺ. Nobody can say something like that. We have to know that the Prophet is the best example for us. He's the best explanation for whatever inside the Quran about don't make your world as your actually goal in this life. The world you use it to achieve the akhirah, but you don't ever say that the world is everything for you. Everything for you is in this world, then you are wrong. The Quran said something like that. But you want to understand the meaning, you have to look at the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet ﷺ said to them, he said to his companion, he said, I am most pious person, most fear person towards Allah. Means that he afraid of Allah Ta'ala. But he said, I pray and I sleep. I fast and I break my fast. And I marry woman. Whoever doesn't like my sunnah, my way of life, falaysa minni, then he is not from among me, from among my people. Means that not from among that person that can claim I am following Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He cannot claim something like that because the Prophet from the start saying that whoever doesn't want to be like him, doesn't want to follow the guidance of his guide from his guidance, then the person is not from among the people of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So because of this, when a person doing something in our time right now, staying in a cave, staying away from other human, and saying that he want to purify himself, that is actually not from the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. Even not from all the prophet, all the messengers of Allah, that is not their guidance. Because all of the prophets or the messengers, Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran in Surah Al-Ra'd, verse number 38, Allah Ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Verily, O Muhammad, we have sent messengers before you. Not only you, but messengers before you. There are many messengers before you. وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَذُرِّيَّةً. And we did make for those messengers spouses and also offsprings. They have spouses, they have offspring. All of the messengers of Allah. So this make us understand that the way of life in achieving self-purification doesn't ever from the guidance of Quran, guidance of the Prophet ﷺ, leaving out everything of this world. Doesn't want to eat, doesn't want to drink, doesn't want to sleep. It's not from the teaching of the Prophet SAW. So if a person want to get his purification, must have the same understanding as the Prophet give them. That is the best thing. So that's why after we say about the Quran as our guidance towards self-purification, then the understanding of Quran, we must have a role model, and our role model is the Prophet SAW. Nobody is better from the Prophet SAW, from the sense of self-purification. So okay, then the fifth rules, our author said about tazkiyah or self-purification is actually two things. You have to know that you want to beautify yourself from you want to left out from yourself any bad manners or not actually whatever is actually against the self-purification. You have to left it out first, then only beautify yourself with the goodness, kindness, rightness, everything. You want to beautify yourself, have a mercy towards others. You have first to take out from yourself anything that is actually against the self-purification, like sins or any disobedience towards Allah. Is not to be done when you want your heart to be purified. You want the heart to be purified, then you have to left out everything. That's why he said that the self-purification is to left out everything that is not good and to beautify yourself with the goodness. Nobody can say that I don't want to left out the badness, but still I want the goodness. The same thing that happened a few years ago when I gave a talk to a family about the importance of Umrah. They want to go to Umrah, the whole family. So they asked me to give a talk to them, to remind them about the importance of Umrah. What do they get benefit from it? So when I talk to them the purpose of Umrah and the reason and what they will get from the Umrah, in the end, the owner of the house, he said to me, if I want to ask forgiveness from Allah, I want to say I'm sorry, but I don't want to but I cannot promise that I will not do it again. Means that inside his heart, he want to do whatever he did before, want to continue to do all that things, but at the same time he want to say I'm sorry. So he had to say I'm sorry. So I remind him that the thing, the important thing that he want to understand, that he must have understand that his life can end anytime. Maybe after a few minutes, maybe after day, 2 days, 3 days, that can happen. So can he assure himself that he will have the opportunity after that Umrah to get the second opportunity to repent second time towards Allah, because our life is actually limited, and the Prophet ﷺ when telling us about the hereafter or the end of the world, and by saying a few things from like yesterday I did talk about the sign of the hour, or the end of this world. One of it is actually being mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-An'am, verse number 158, about when the sign of your God came to you, came to them. Fala yanfa'u nafsan imanuha lam takun amanat min qabl. Then a belief for a soul that didn't believe before that sign came, and the sign is actually the sun will come from the west, not from the east. Every day, right now, we actually receiving the sun coming towards us from the east. And among the sign of the end of this world is the sun will come from the west, not from the east. It will happen when the time comes. So when the Prophet ﷺ said, when that happened, repentance from a person, a taubah from a person will not be accepted from Allah Ta'ala. The door of taubah will be closed, not be open anymore. That is one the sign. So in that ayah, Al-An'am, verse number 158, fala tanfa'u nafsan imanuha lam takun amanat min qabl. Then a belief, for a soul, a belief, it will not give any good. That the soul that doesn't believe before that, any belief that come after that will not be goodness. Or a person that is actually belief, but from his belief doesn't create anything. Means that no salah, no voluntary prayers, or no voluntary fasting, no recitation for Al-Quran. He doesn't do it before the sun rise from the west. So if he do it after that, it doesn't give any benefit, because the benefit only will come to the person that actually believe Allah before the sun rise from the west. And also that is for non-believers, and the believers, the one who claim to be a believers, then the deeds that they will be benefit for them is whatever they did before that. If they do fast voluntarily, or do pray voluntarily, other than the fardu, other than the subuh, zuhr, asar, maghrib and isya, they did more than that. They did the voluntary prayers, or they recite the Quran before that. Then if the sun rise from the west, then everything he did before, he can continue, and the goodness will come. But a person that didn't ever do a voluntary prayer, didn't recite the Quran, didn't do a fasting, didn't do everything, but when the sun arises from the west, he start to do it, then it doesn't give any benefit. So when the Prophet give us this reminder, that I said to the owner of the house, can you assure that you will have the second opportunity to ask from Allah Ta'ala forgiveness? He said that I want to say I'm sorry, but cannot promise Allah that I will not do it again. Means that he want to continue doing it. So I said to him, can you assure yourself that you have the second opportunity or third opportunity after that, that you will get the opportunity to ask from Allah Ta'ala forgiveness, to make sure that your soul is actually being released from the torment of hell? Can you assure that? Then he silent for a little while, and after that he said, then after this, after coming back from Umrah, I have to find a new partner. He is a businessman. What is business? I don't know. I don't know what his business. But he said, after I told him about you don't ever think something like that. It's actually not correct for you to say that. I think that I want to ask forgiveness from Allah, but I cannot promise that I will not do it again. That is actually one of the wrong thing to do when you want to purify yourself, because you don't want to left out anything that is bad, but you want to mix the bad and the good inside your heart, and that it cannot happen. That can happen at all. You must left out the badness, then only you take the goodness inside your soul, because any residue. Because when the soul is not cleansed from all the things before, like you want to drink fresh water, but the glass that you use is actually have residue of maybe fresh orange. When you pour inside the glass plain water, the water will still have the taste of the orange. You'll have the smell, will have the taste, because you don't left out first anything before you enter inside it. You pour inside the glass a plain water, because the glass being not be cleansed from the start. So not to left out the badness and put just inside the goodness is actually not a good thing to do. So you have to make sure that you left everything repent to Allah, and don't ever think that you have the opportunity not to do it like right now because you are still young. I'm still at the early 20 of my life. I have all the opportunity because Allah Ta'ala will take your soul whenever He want, and you already have that day and the date, the time, the day and the date for you to go away from this world. So if you doesn't take the chance, your chance now, right now, to repent and to be better, then like being said by the Prophet SAW, it will become a time when your repent, you're asking forgiveness from Allah, but it will not be any good for you. That's the thing that you have to understand. That left out everything from the badness and doing the goodness. Okay. And the sixth rule, our author told us that the person, when he want to have the self-purification, he must close all the windows that will make him go out from the self-purification or the tazkiyah, and then will make him go away from the goodness and making him actually fell into the depravity. He must close all the door. Means that whenever you want to have your soul being purified, anything that can make you do sin, can make you do a sin, you have to take yourself back away from that things. Not doing something, but to prevent yourself. That is actually your struggle. You don't struggle to not doing things by actually entering yourself toward that place. Like a person who doesn't want to do bad things, but stay with a person that is actually doing bad things. Some people will say that, oh Ustaz, if we don't be a friend to those who actually not right, not good in their manners, not good in their devoutness towards Allah, or do syirik. So how can we want to guide them to goodness? Some people say something like that, but the problem is you actually must fear about your soul, not about others. Because if you stay with them, then like we said before, you actually will be influenced by whatever surrounding you. That is actually things that actually not right for you to do, because this is the way. When you want to anything that will make you do sin or make you do wrongness towards Allah, then you have to leave it out. You don't ever open the door towards it. Like a person that doesn't want to do something that appropriate towards a woman, he must make sure that he doesn't talk to the woman except what is important only, not to laugh around and make jokes and actually touching and everything by saying that it's actually just touch, nothing more than that. But because that will make the person go further into the depravity. This is not right. So you have to make sure that all the windows that can make you go into the sin or wrongness, you must close it. You must close the windows. Not saying that you are better because you are afraid for yourself. Not saying that you want to not to be friend with somebody like that. Doesn't mean that you actually saying that you are better than them, or want to go to they say example concert, a musical concert, or doesn't want to go to the pub or to the place where people have entertainment like cinema. You can say that I doesn't want to go there. It doesn't mean that you say that you are better, but you are afraid that yourself will go towards more lower than what you are now. You want to make yourself better, but you opening to your soul, to yourself, everything that will make you lesser than lower than become low than what you are now. That is wrong. So anything that can make you go towards the depravity, you have or the obedience towards Allah, you must take away yourself from that. prevent yourself from anything, because preventing is better than cure. That's why in the Quran, when Allah Ta'ala told us not to do zina or fornication, Allah Ta'ala said, "Wala la taqrabu zina." He said, he doesn't say that don't do the zina. He said, don't ever go near to the zina. Don't go near, because going near towards that thing is actually opening the door to the window towards that thing. So you want to, your first purification, you don't ever open any window that will make you in depravity or making you go away from the tazkiyah. Okay. And the seventh rule, he said about things that will help you or make you things about self-purification is actually remembering about the death and about meeting Allah in the hereafter, in the last day, day of judgment. So a person that want his soul to be purified, he must have that feeling or the understanding about the death, because all of us will die. Just look around us. Before 100 years, you are not here, your parents are not here, your neighbors, your house, even your building, your car is not here. It's not here. Everybody is not here. But after 100 years, you will go away from this world. You and everybody in this world will go away. Maybe few person in this world that have 108 years, 110 years old, maybe they will be here after this. But all of us, the majority of human being will die. Because person that is actually achieve 90s, 80s of his life is actually so little. Because the Prophet did say to us that umru ummati baina sittin wa sab'in, the age of my people, the age of my ummah will be between 60 to 70 years old. Within that range. Many of our friends, our people that we know actually died on that area. Few still alive, achieving 80s, 90 years old, 100. Few. So we actually, when we want to make any rules or any understanding, you must look at the majority, not the minority, or not the few that inside. Like we want to do the law about traffic light. We make rules that red is actually for you to stop, yellow ready to stop, green to go. Green, go. You can move when the light is green. Even though we know that certain human beings have color blindness, they saw the red as green and the green as yellow. Sometimes something like that. That's why from among the tests being done for whoever want to get their license to drive a car, one of the tests is actually about color blindness. They will give you one box, few dots, and inside the dot, by different shade of color, there's a numbers there. That's the way they want to know that the person want to drive this car is actually not colorblind. Even though some of the school of driving school is teaching their candidates, saying that if you see this and this color, the number is this. And that's why people with color blindness can achieve can get driving license. Even though from the start our rules actually the person must know red is red, yellow is yellow, green is green. So the rule is actually for the majority, for the whole human being. That three color must be red is red, yellow is yellow, green is green. Even though a few among human beings, there are people who see green as red, red as green, or yellow as red. There are people something like that. There are people who actually looking at the traffic light and saying the other color. But we don't ever make rules like that. So when I say before 100 years, you are not here, I am not here. After 100 years, I will go away, and you also will go away. Nobody can stay in this world more than that. That is actually the rules right now. So when we saying this, means that you will go away from this world. Your friend, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, everybody will go away from this world. You put them any years, any say period, any time length you want to give to them, but in the end they will die. Moses, Allah Ta'ala peace be upon, give peace upon him. When the Prophet ﷺ said in his hadith narrated by Muslim about when Moses going to die, when the angel of death came to him as a person, Moses struck him. Even his eye being get out from his socket, because Moses hit him, because he came as a human. Then after that, the angels, the death angel, came to Allah and said about your servant doesn't want to die. So Allah Ta'ala said to the angels to go to Moses and say to him that tell him to put his hand on a cow. Then how many the hair of the cow being touched by his hand, that is his life will be prolonged, will be given, will be extend until into whatever the numbers his hand touch from among the hair of the cow and the body of the cow. You know that the hair is actually so many, maybe 1,000, maybe 100, if not million, if not 100,000. You can say that 1,000 or 100,000 being touched by the hand of the Prophet Moses alayhi salam. But when the angel told him to do that, and he said that, then after that, after all that long terms will be given to me, then the angel of death said, death. You don't have anything except death. Mean prolong yourself anything, but anyhow any way you can. Ask Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah Ta'ala give me long life. But in the end, you have to leave this world. Whatever your status, even if Allah Ta'ala took the soul of the prophets and the messengers to become to die at a certain age, if they are actually most lovable people, lovable human being towards Allah, the most pious towards Allah, then Allah Ta'ala make them to feel the death, to arrive at the death. We or anybody actually doesn't have the luxury of staying in this world and will not die, because the Prophet and the Messenger is most lovable human being towards Allah, being made to death. But how can we say that we will stay in this world, will not die? So understanding that your life will end, and understanding that the life actually will come to you at any moment. This is what one of the most great motivation for us to purify our soul, to make sure that we do all the things that will make our soul being better, because we know that our time is not in our hand. Our time in this world is limited. We will not be living continuously. You will die. You will die. I will die. Everybody will die. So and our deeds, good deeds, will be counted until our death. So if all our deeds, 30 years, 20 years, everything we did is actually just playing around, and we arrive at the death, not repenting for our sin, not doing good deeds, no deeds for us, then you will not get anything. By that, the Prophet ﷺ said about when he said about the rise of the sun from the west, the Prophet ﷺ said about badiru bil amal, quickly do the good deeds, do the good deeds now, before the sign of the end of this world come. From on the sign that will make any belief that this believer want to believe doesn't benefit anymore, and any good deeds been done by a Muslim, any bad deeds or no good deeds been done from a Muslim, after that will not be count. Means that before that he doesn't do anything good. After this sign came, then only he want to do better, then his good deeds doesn't benefit him anymore. From among the sign being told by the Prophet ﷺ is the rise of the sun from the west, and among it is actually the death of the person itself. So the Prophet said, "Badiru bil amal," go quickly, kan? Do quickly the amal, do the amal quickly before this sign come. So when purification of soul, remembering the death is actually one thing that will help you. And the 8 rules said by the author is actually for us to choose a good companion, good partners, or good associate in our life to make sure that we get the better understanding or the right way towards soul purification. This is the thing relate to the closing of any relating to the topic of closing any windows that will make you go toward depravity, because choosing your friend who become your good or close friend is actually something that will actually will make your soul become perfect or not. Because in the hadith that we did read before, about the person who repent towards Allah after killing 100 human beings, and when he want to repent, he being guided to repent to Allah, but the way he want to guide is to get the repentance from Allah is actually he have to go towards a village that is their good people that doing worship towards Allah. He must stay there and ask forgiveness from Allah from that, among that people, because his village, his town, that when where he came from is actually the town of the people that is not good. So the Prophet ﷺ give a guidance about this when he said about the resemblance or about a person who make friend with a good person is actually like a person who be friend with the seller of fragrance or fragrance, seller of fragrance by misk. The person that sell musk. Musk is actually one of the fragrance. So the person is actually be friend with a person who sell musk. So when a person is selling musk, M-U-S-K, not M-A-S-K, musk, yeah. Actually a good smell, yeah, fragrance. So if you be friend with this type of person, the Prophet said, if you then didn't get any fragrance from him free, you will get a good smell from him because you are staying with him, and the good smell will come to you. And the other side, when you actually staying with a bad person, a person that is not good, not pious from among your close friend, then that person, the Prophet ﷺ give a parables like example like a person who actually be friend with a blacksmith that always knocking the iron, and you are staying with him. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, being friend with this person, a person like this, is actually will not benefit you, because either your clothes being burned because of the fire from his knocking, or you will get bad smell, the smell of smoke on your body, not the good smell but the bad smell. You will get the bad smell because you are staying with him. So that's why to choose who will be your friend is actually from among the things that you have to do before you have to do when you want your soul to be purified. And number 9th, the 9th rule that we learn is actually we have to make sure to be careful about our soul, our to be impressed with our soul, our own deeds, because some people, when they already follow the 8 rules that we said, then it come towards that he think that he's better than others. He think that whatever he get is actually because of his struggle, the struggle that he done, he went into, not because of Allah Ta'ala's help. That is the wrongness will start, because a person, when he feel that he's impressed with himself, he will start to become sum'ah, want to hear praises from other human being about him. Then after that, he become riya, meaning doing any good deeds because of wanting the praises from human being. So the step is actually from the start point is feeling impressed with whatever you did. That is the thing that you have to stop. When you do self-deprecation, that is the thing that you must avoid. To think that you are better than others is actually wrong. To want to be better, yes. You want to be better than others, yes. To say that you are better than others is wrong. Okay. And the last one, the 10th rule, actually we discuss about knowing the soul, because when a person want to make a self-purification, he must know about his soul. And inside that topic, we did recite two parables or two examples being given by the scholars about the soul. One of them, Imam Al-Ajuri, he said that the soul is actually like a colt, a young horse that must be trained, and the trainer must know about the training, how to train a horse, and also must have patience inside when training the horse. So when you want to purify yourself, you also have to have patience. Doesn't ever you must not actually want to make it go faster than what it should, because Allah Ta'ala will give you the time. Take your time, be patient, and also must have knowledge. Then Ibn Qayyim Al-Jawziyah give another parables. Whoever training their soul to be better is actually like a person going towards a destination, and he on his way to that destination, in this topic is Allah. He arrived at a big mountain in front of him. So he climbed the mountain, and when climbing the mountain, there are always danger on that mountain. On that mountain, there are dangers, steep on the hill's left, a small rocky path on his right, bushes, thorn, everything is there. So when he try to climb the mountain, there will be that. Essentially, will be his first thing that will stop him. Second thing will come from the top of the mountain. Caller will say to him that it's not good for you, just go back. Will always say to the person to go back. That is shaitan. The mountain itself is actually the soul of the person. So that in that last topic, Alhamdulillah, we discuss about that, the parables being given by those two scholars, and from that point we know that the way that we want to purify ourselves, we must return to the first, the third rules about taking a role model, which is actually the fourth rule. The fourth rule actually about taking a role model. That is the Prophet SAW, to make sure that our soul will be cleansed by the way of the Prophet, not the way of others, not the way of yoga, not the way of become a Buddhist. No, you have to follow the Prophet SAW. That's the way, because the one who know the training of the soul must be the Prophet SAW. Must be the Prophet ﷺ, not other person, because Allah Ta'ala sent the Prophet as the guide for the human being. And after that, we finish our topic by saying the khatimah, the ending. Then that is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we discussed about it. So now, inshallah, we will start next week with our new topic. The topic will be the summary. The book is called Khulasatu Ta'zimul Ilm. Khulasatu Ta'zimul Ilm, meaning the summary. There's a big book, 100 pages. The one that I take as our text to learn is actually around 46, 45 pages. Not really that many. Because even our topic about self-purification also. Our book, right, actually 10 rules actually around 48 pages, and the book that we'll take inshallah around 60, no, not 60, around 60, no, 50. Okay, the book is around 52 pages. 52 pages. That will inshallah will talk about 20 topic concerning ta'zimul ilm, means that honoring the knowledge. Because the author, he wrote, the author is actually Saleh bin Abdullah bin Hamd al-Usaymi. Sheikh Saleh al-Usaymi, he wrote about ta'zimul ilm, means that honoring the knowledge. Because among things that students, those who want to learn any knowledge, they forgot about the manners or the value that a person who want to learn must have from the start. He must have these values or these manners before go into learning. Because sometimes in our time right now, people actually come to classes and to learn, but they don't have the manners. Then actually, when you don't have the manners, it is saying that you are not honoring the knowledge. You are not honoring the knowledge. The knowledge that you want to learn, you must honor it from the sense of yourself towards your teacher, or yourself towards your whatever being told inside the knowledge. Because whatever you learn must be actually for you to do, to practice, not just to learn. Because in the Western civilization, they have that kind of understanding, means that for academic purpose, means that they don't want to learn to do it. They just want to learn to know. Knowing something and practicing it is actually a different matter. If you just know the right or wrong, you know this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, but you still doing the bad, you still doing the wrong, then you are not honoring your knowledge. Because the knowledge you have, that Allah Ta'ala give you, must be honored. So this is inshallah our topic starting from next week. But what we took actually is summarize, because the original book is actually bigger, 100 pages, more than 100 pages. Actually the topic is ta'zimul ilm, meaning honoring the knowledge. The one we take from the same author is actually the summarize of the honoring the knowledge, summarization of the book, 52 pages inshallah, for us to learn about the manners of learning inshallah. For the next week inshallah we will enter into this topic. Wallahil hamd. We'll see if there's any question. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Allah say, Allah say, ask me and I give. What is situation in which we ask but we're not given? Okay, there are few things, few situation from among what the Prophet ﷺ said, that yustajabu lil abdi malam ya'jal. In Allah Ta'ala will answer towards the servant as long as he is not we say gopo? Gopo.
Snap.
Gopo. Maksud dia tak sabar.
Oh, rush.
The Prophet said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Ta'ala will answer his servant as long as the servant is not rush the answer. So the companions asked the Prophet ﷺ, how is a person being called rush into the answer? The Prophet said, when a servant say, I already asked Allah, but Allah Ta'ala didn't give me. I prayed already, I supplicate already, but no answer came to me. That is the thing that will stop our prayer being answered by Allah. From that point, and about what we ask from Allah Ta'ala, if Allah Ta'ala delay it, whatever we ask from Allah Ta'ala from goodness, the Prophet said that it will always be within three things. Whatever you ask from Allah will be given in three form, not always like what you want. I did told this story in Malay at other classes about one of my friend. He told us in Terengganu, his town. My friend is actually Syed Hisham bin Tun Padang, one of the celebrities, Ustaz in television. He told us about an auntie and tapai. What is it? Fermented glutinous rice. You know, in Malay culture, when you want to eat sweets, there are ways being done. From among the sweet, then you want to take a sweet, like you say, like cake in Western civilization. In our grandfather or our great grandfather, there's no cake in our India time. So how do they want to take sweet, or you say apa panggil, pemanis mulut? Dessert. Yeah, dessert. When they want to eat dessert, they have their own way. From among the way is actually they take either glutinous rice, beras pulut, and they cook it and they put something called ragi. They make the fermentation of that rice and make the sugar come out, because they didn't put the sugar. I myself doesn't know it. Know about the making of that tapai or fermented glutinous rice. I don't know before, but when one of my friend is actually doing it, and actually it's so sweet. So I asked them whether they put sugar in it. So they said no, but the fermentation, because carbohydrate is actually sugar. But you want to make it sweet, you have to have a process. So when they doing this process, the thing after a few days will call tapai. It's not intoxicating. It's just sweet and a little gassy. You taste at your tongue, gassy and sweet. Not to make you become actually intoxicated. Not become you can drunk. No. But some people do take the water, leave it more than that to make it become intoxicating. So the drink it to become drunk. Some of people in Sarawak, certain of them they drink a thing they call tuak. So actually it came from the same thing, from rice. So the process is the same. Okay. Anyway, this dessert, the tapai, an auntie in Terengganu, she actually make a living by selling tapai. This I want to show you that you ask something, but Allah Ta'ala give in other form, not the form that you want, but form Allah Ta'ala want. This auntie cook tapai and sell it to the market every Sunday. He said every Sunday or every Saturday. So when they go there and selling that tapai on Saturday, anything that she got from that day, that market, will be the expense, or will be the money for them for a week, for her and her family for a week, and until she can sell it for a second time next week. So weekly she got her expense, her money from weekly selling. Happened that one day she cooked the tapai, she cooked the fermented glutinous rice, sweet fermented glutinous rice, or aka tapai. She cook it, but the thing that actually she doesn't achieve the right ripeness. That means that it doesn't become sweet, not yet. Maybe after few days it can happen, but at that time when she go to the market, they think it's not ready. But she went to the market and actually anyway she go to the market, even though the thing is actually not ready for her to sell. But whenever any person came to her and asked, she said, yes, I have the tapai, I have the sweet fermented glutinous rice, but it's still not ready, cannot be eat right now. So all the person came to her, all the came to her want to buy and doesn't want to buy. Actually will not buy because the thing is not ready. And she at that time supplicate towards Allah, oh Allah, I do this to get my risk for a week, so help me. And she is actually a good person and always pray at the right time, at time. In his time, always take care of his prayer. His prayer, 5 times prayer a day. Always wake up in the morning, pray subuh at this time. So she want to ask Allah, by she doing everything goodness, oh Allah, please make my tapai become right and I can sell it. So she asking miracles to make the tapai become ready to be sold. Few times she open, still not, she keep on prayer. She keep on praying until at the last of the time of the market, everybody start to go home. So she said she opened the box, the box, and still the tapai is not right, and she cannot sell because the market already closed, start to close. When she start to pack, a person came to her and asked, auntie, is there any tapai? You do sell tapai? She said yes, but the tapai is not right, not really ready right now. A few days, inshallah, you can eat it. So the person said, that is what I want, because I am traveling. I'm traveling overseas in few days, so I want to take with me tapai is not really ready, so that when I arrive at my destination, the tapai will be ready. So I want that type of tapai. So the person bought it all. So she get her answer, but not the way she want. That's the thing that certain in many times we forgot that Allah Ta'ala will give us the way He want, not the way I want, or not the way you want, but the way He want. He wanted it to happen. Means that she got her money. She want the expense for her life. The expenses for weekly expenses for her life she will get, but not the way she want. She want the tapai to become ready miraculously. Keep on asking, oh Allah, still, oh Allah, nothing happened. But Allah Ta'ala make a person came to her asking about that tapai and bought the tapai, all of it, because the person want to travel overseas and want to take with him that sweet fermented glutinous rice. So that he want to maybe the person want to give the taste towards his friend overseas. This is what in my country. This is why in my state, my hometown. Maybe the person actually wanted something like that. So she got her answer, but not the way she want, but the way Allah Ta'ala want. So in this sense, whenever we do prayer towards Allah, we ask Allah Ta'ala, He will give it to us. But you have to understand, Allah Ta'ala will give it to you the way He want, not the way you want. You pray, oh Allah, I want a better job. But Allah Ta'ala make you, before you get the second job, the better job, you have to be actually fired from your first job. When you got fired from your first job, what happened? I asked Allah Ta'ala a better salary, but you being fired from your work. But because you been fired from your work, you start to search for a new work. Then the second work you find, maybe you get the answer from there. But the way Allah Ta'ala send you towards this, your prayer, is the way that maybe you don't like it. You like to be that the thing happen the way you want, but Allah Ta'ala will send you to the destination or towards your goal, but the way He want. That's the first thing. Secondly, the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ did say in his saying, he said that everything, every dua, every supplication being done by the human or by the son of Adam will be answered. Either by Allah Ta'ala will give whatever He want immediately or after a delay, or Allah Ta'ala will make the dua become the helper for the person in the day of judgment. Means that because Allah didn't give him whatever he asked in this world, Allah Ta'ala will forgive him whatever he done in this world in the day of judgment, or Allah Ta'ala will make the dua be go against whatever being destined upon him. When Allah Ta'ala destined him to be a poor person, he make a dua, then the dua will center lock, will lock with the destiny that will happen to him. So he become better, not poor, not really rich. Himpunan apa mati dah. Mati. Mati. Okay. So because of that, so the person actually when you do doa to Allah, so it will happen in three form. Allah Ta'ala will give the answer in three form, not just the form that you want or not the way you want. And also if Allah Ta'ala didn't give you what you ask, then actually the doa is from among the good things, good deeds that you want. Then Allah Ta'ala will replace for you in other things. Replace it with forgiveness, or replace it with making any bad destiny upon you become lift up from you. So will not be as what will be upon you. So making dua is never ever getting you into loss. You will always get, always give. You don't lose anything, insyaAllah. But do you have any other question after that? After that, any question? Because my phone is okay. Wallahilham. So insyaAllah next week we will go into our new book, Khulasatu Ta'zim al-Ilm, summarization of the book of title Honoring the Knowledge. So insyaAllah may Allah Ta'ala make us benefit from the last book that we learned, and we got our benefit with the second book, insyaAllah. Yes.
Okay. What we will advise you will give to your younger version of yourself, which means when you were in 20 years old, what advice you will give?
Actually, what advice I want to give? Many person when say that actually even they are poem being said by certain scholars saying that if I go back to the last time to my young self, I will told him whatever did happen in his life, what he will miss out in his life. Means that the opportunity that he left out. From among the biggest opportunity for a person, if you are still young, know that Allah Ta'ala will give you from among things, many things, in the hereafter, in the last day, when we are actually in Mahshar, the sun will be really near towards on the top of our head. Every person will be sweating. Every person will feel the heat, except 7 types of human being that Allah Ta'ala will protect them. From among them is actually what we said as the Prophet said, Syabun nasha'a fi ibadatillah, a young person that actually growing up in doing self-devoteness towards Allah. So you want to achieve that, you must be a still young person. You know that now doesn't benefit you, because seven from the 7 type of people that will be being covered by Allah in that time is actually a just ruler. A ruler is actually very just. Yeah, a just ruler. Secondly, a person who is actually his heart clinging towards the mosque. You can be like this. And say the two person meeting because of Allah, and they move away, or actually separating because of Allah. Meet because of Allah, separate because of Allah. And after that, a person, a young person who growing up in self-devoteness towards Allah. And after that, also a person, the fifth, a person that being called by a woman to do bad things, a woman that have beauty and status, call him, come to me. Then the person said, I afraid towards Allah, I afraid of Allah. So he doesn't do bad things with her. That also person that will be covered by Allah. The sixth one is actually the person who gives sadaqah, and he made it very secret, until as if that the secretness of his sadaqah, his charity, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand did. So secretive until like that, as if saying like that, even though maybe he will hold the thing by two hands, but saying that he so secretive until the left hand doesn't know what the right hand did. And the last one is actually a person who is actually who cried, who remember Allah Ta'ala by himself, and his tear came down from his eye. So that the seven, from among the seven, actually a young person who growing up in self-devoteness of Allah. If you are still young, you can do it. Secondly, things that when I will advise myself is actually to not left out about remembering or memorizing the hadith and the Quran, to make sure that I remember everything that I learn. That is the thing that I will surely tell my younger self, because when you already old, then you say, if I did remember that before, because this is from the side of ourselves. From the good deeds, when we don't want to left out, actually, if on that time, my younger self, if my parent is still alive, then I will told myself essentially to do good to them, because once they went away, they died, I cannot do anything for them except just a prayer. But when they are alive, I can do works for them. I can serve them. So that's the thing, that actually when you are young, the thing is there. You actually have that on all the opportunity, and when you're growing towards old age, that is the thing that actually will go away from you. Will go away from you. The eager to learn, the capability to learn more, the capability to serve your parent, or to do goodness or self devotion towards Allah abundantly. Because when you come to old age, you start to tire yourself, quickly tired to yourself, cannot sustain actually staying at night to do works. Because when you start came to a certain age, you will tire yourself. You tire quickly. At young age you can do it, at old age you cannot do it. So inshallah, that is the thing that you have to remind your younger self, things that when you become old, you cannot do it. Wallahu a'lam. Any other question? What is it? Because my phone is already died with the battery. Okay. Salam Ustaz. Is someone without carry any religion, but he or she only doing good deeds in life and practice human morality practice, would he or she get to heaven or hell? She or he will surely go to hell. When I saying that, and I laugh, because when we say about the rules of self-progression, the first thing first is actually about the proclaim of oneness of Allah. And with it, with the Tawheed, you must have actually following the guidance of Quran, following the Prophet Sallallahu believing the end of life, the end of this world, because all because believing Allah Ta'ala will actually, you must believe all the 5 other things, the angels, the books that bring revelation by sent by revelation of Allah, the prophets, the last day, and also you have to believe into the destiny, the qadar, be written by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. If you believe in Allah but you don't believe in other things, actually your belief is actually not giving you anything, because the Prophet SAW being asked about a person, a good person, when the Prophet SAW still young, or before his time, there's a person named Ibn Jud'an. This person was a very good person, and known to help people, give food and drinks towards those who do the Hajj, helping others. And even they said that the goodness of this person, he even give food towards animals near the jungle. He made sure that the animal get food. This guy, that's his nature, very good guy. So the companion of Prophet ﷺ asked the Prophet ﷺ, Ibn Jud'an, this person called Ibn Jud'an, and actually known to them, very good person. Even after his death, the Quraysh, the leaders of Makkah, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, still do their meeting in his house. Means that the person is not there anymore, but you really respect him. So even though he's not there, you will always do the meeting, everything they want to do, they will do it at his house. Like us right now, when we do respect a person, we make a road on his name, so that we remember him, because we respect him so much. We make a building in his name. So all of that things actually relating to the respect given by the Quraysh towards this guy. But when the companion of Prophet ﷺ asked the Prophet, Ibn Jud'an, Aina huwa? Where is he? The Prophet ﷺ said, in hell fire. So the companion is actually quite confused, because this guy died before the Prophet ﷺ being sent, and he's a good person. Then why shouldn't he go to heaven? He good person, very good person. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Innahu lam yakul yawman rabbighfir li khati'ati yawmiddin. He never ever in his life, his good life, good manners towards human being, do charity, he never ever said to Allah, Oh Allah, forgive me on the day of the judgment. He never ever say, Oh Allah, forgive me in the day of the judgment. Because believing one of the 6 pillars of Islam is actually obligated things. You left out one thing, and all of it is actually will not be accepted by Allah. So you do good things towards human, but you don't believe in Allah. You don't believe in other than the things that Allah Ta'ala associate with Him. The end of life, the destiny, the books, the prophets, the angels. You don't want to believe it. Then the problem is actually your belief will not be accepted. Because one of the true condition for your deeds to be accepted by Allah, there's 2 things. First is actually al-ikhlas, meaning that ikhlas, you have to have the sincerity in doing your deeds. If you do it not sincerely, Allah Ta'ala will not accept it. Secondly, the deeds that you do must be actually according to what the Prophet ﷺ told you to do. Because Allah Ta'ala will not send him except for us to follow him. That's what Allah Ta'ala said in the Surah Al-Ahzab. Allah Ta'ala said, Laqad kana lakum fi Rasulillahi uswatun hasanah. Verily, in the self of the Prophet ﷺ, there is actually a guidance, a role model for those who actually believing in Allah and the last day. So if you don't want to take the Prophet SAW, then you cannot say you get anything, because and the third thing is actually to make sure that your goodness or your deeds being accepted by Allah, a true faith. Faith that is actually not wrong. In fact, the wrong faith, you believe Allah, you don't believe in hereafter, you don't believe in things that you don't like. Then actually your belief is not being accepted by Allah. So your deeds also will be rejected. Okay. Okay, Ustaz, how about prostitute give water to a dog? Yeah, she give water to a dog, but she is actually a believer. She a believer. Inside that hadith, a few narration being said that she actually from among the Israelites, from among those who Jew or following the religion of the Jew. At that time, she is a believer. She is sinner, but a believer. She do make sin, but she is a believer, not an unknown person, not a disbelief person. All of it, the starting point about that is actually she must be a believer to make all the deeds being accepted by Allah. Okay, it's not about just doing good deeds, because you must have a belief, because without the belief, then Allah Ta'ala will not accept anything from you, because it's something like this. Okay, here in Al-Khadim, we have a few units, religion, affair, media, and charity, and selling everything here. If a person, unknown person, came to enter into Al-Khadim, and after that doesn't ask from Sheikh Husseini to work here, and doesn't meet our director, our manager to work here, doesn't ask the permission, but just come, clean up, arrange everything, do very good things. Even he or she is doing better than those who actually being in payroll of Al-Khadim. So at the end of the month, he doesn't ever want to know the owner of the place. He doesn't want to have any connection with the owner of the place. And he or she go to the office and ask for salary? Okay? Cannot. Even though she or he is doing better than the workers, the staff that actually working on payroll of the Al-Khadim. So that's the what you say, the parables that you have to understand. Knowing your God, believing in whatever He told you to do, that is the first step towards acceptance of your deeds. Because if you just came to this world, you deny Him, you deny His Prophet, you don't want to follow His religion, and you want all your deeds to be accepted by Allah, how can? Okay, wait. Wallahu a'lam. Alhamdulillah, we finish our question Q&A. Inshallah, we will continue with a new book, like we said just now, the khulasa, summarization of honoring the knowledge. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sallam, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.